Hey there. Hey Vivian's Gourmet, Kristen, what's up, what's up? It is a beautiful Colorado day. You can see the sun is shining. I'm gonna just around so y'all can see where I'm at because it's just gorgeous. I am up in the Golden area in Colorado, up near the mountains by Lookout Mountain. Hey Florida Scott, good to see you here. And so it's snowy, you can tell, but it's actually really, really warm. Look at that awesome, beautiful sun. I'm probably blinding you for a moment. But I was at this really cool, they call it I can't even say it, the Belcher Mansion or something like that. Anyway, there's just beautiful grounds here. And so I just got done taking a mindful leadership workshop. And so I thought I would just use this beautiful day to share a little bit about what I learned and what came up for me. So hey, how are you doing? My name is Sarah, aka the Mill Coach, and today it's all about the pause. Now that was the big thing that I'm taking away from mindful leadership, is that we get so busy going through the day-to-day that we often forget that we have a choice. Right? When there's a stimulus that happens, we oftentimes just respond without giving ourselves that space to pause and say, all right, I'm curious about that stimulus, that thing that was just said, what that person just did, what I just observed. I'm curious. Instead of moving into immediate judgment, right? Because the big aha for me today is that I'm Judgy McJudgerson. Right? No matter what the situation, I'm always looking around and I'm scanning. I'm like, okay, I like that. I don't like that. That's awesome. That's stupid. It's like, there's always this judgment. And that's not really mindful, right? There's this space to say, all right, I'm curious about that. I'm feeling judgmental right now. Why? What's with me that would make me want to be negative about that situation or to judge that situation? How can I use this pause to turn it around and be just, I wonder what this means right now. So there were a couple of key terms that I want to share with you about what I learned. The pause was definitely a big one. So are you giving yourself that pause to check in with yourself? So that's the second thing. Hey, from Costa Rica. It's snowy here. I bet it's probably not snowy where you are. But that pause and then that check-in is really important. So do you, throughout the day, give yourself the space to just say, okay, well, how am I feeling, right? How am I thinking about this thing right now, right? Am I happy right now, right? These are maybe like really simple questions, but how often are you giving yourself the permission to ask that question and then to feel it, right? You need to do that more often, Florida Scott. I think I definitely do too. I think the world does. You know, think about when you're on the job or you are being a leader, right? You are always, pressed for time. You're going from meeting to meeting. And so when something comes at you that you weren't expecting, it's just easy to respond. And, sometimes it can go to that dark side instead of that, okay, I need to seek to understand, or I really, want to move with more compassion toward the situation instead of judgment. So are you pausing? Are you checking in? And are you giving yourself that space to shift your attention? So I told you that I'm Judgy McJudgerson, right? So when I notice that, and I have that space where I'm like, I'm being a judger. It's that shift. Say, okay, I'm in that space that doesn't feel good or that isn't nice or isn't really a positive for anybody, including myself. How can I then make a different choice? So it's about awareness, because without awareness, you're not going to be able to make the shift, right? And then it's about choice. Am I going to choose to continue to live in this woe is me, oh my God, this shit is happening to me kind of world? Or are you going to choose to say, you know what? I can let go of that feeling that I just had that wasn't awesome, and I can choose to move into something else. Or, I can choose something else, right? You always have it. One of the big ahas for me today was that remembering that I do have the choice, and that because somebody did something doesn't make me show up in any way, shape, or form. Right? It doesn't make me do anything. I choose it. Right? I often give my power away to other people. It's like, oh, my husband, he said that thing to me and now he's pissed me off. I was like, well, no. If I would actually pause and have a little bit of compassion toward him, maybe I could make a different kind of, outcome. right? He didn't make me. I'm choosing to be pissed off. I could actually choose to say, I'm going to let that go. It doesn't serve me right now. Moving on for something else. So yeah, I cannot let go of many things, or I can let go of many things, but not your scopes. Oh, hearts coming from my heart to yours. Thank you for that. So the last thing that I'm going to leave you with today is the idea that monotasking is the shit, right? I've interviewed a lot of people in my past as I've hired, trainers and developers for different roles and organizations that I worked. And 9 times out of 10, the person that was in front of me would say, you should hire me because I am a multitasker. Have you ever called yourself a multitasker? I know I have. Well, the idea here is that monotasking is the shit. Because you know what happens? A wandering mind and a wandering mind is an unhappy mind, right? And so if you're letting yourself wander about another task that you need to do, then you're not truly present, right? You're just thinking of all the other stuff. And so, although you think you might be productive, or you think that you're getting a lot done, and you might be getting a lot done, you're not bringing the best version of yourself or your work to the table. And so, instead of being a multitasker, be a monotasker, right? Do everything that you can to stay present in the moment where you are now. Notice when things end. Right? And then you can shift to that next thing. So the idea of a monotasker really resonated with me, and I hope that it can with you as well. So 50% of people think of something else when they're doing something. 50%, that's a big freaking number, right? So we're always thinking about somebody else. I'm having a great conversation with my husband, but what am I doing? I'm thinking about what I'm gonna cook for dinner, right? I'm having a conversation with a potential client, and what am I doing? I am thinking about all of the other stuff that's going on in my life, right? How can we quiet the noise? That's the big challenge. And what is it about? It's about awareness of, oh, there went my mind, and then bringing it back to the breath and the current situation where you are right this very freaking moment, right? So breath is your best friend to get you back into that I'm going to monotask mindset, right? So remember that. So pause. Give yourself that space to pause. You don't have to go a mile a minute, right? Check in with yourself. How are you feeling, right? Choose to shift if you're feeling in a way that doesn't feel good, right? And always just shift your attention back to your breath when you're not feeling on, when you're not feeling inspired, right? And science says, if you're looking for some science, because there are some really cool pieces of research that are coming out as it relates to mindfulness, it says that it can increase your memory. It can increase your sense of self. And if you want to be a big leader, you've got to know who the hell you are, right? It can also bring greater empathy, right? And if you have challenges, helping to see or feel how other people are feeling, or at least, trying to name it or to get there, you're going to struggle as a leader, right? So what leader couldn't, benefit from more empathy? I know I could. Again, that judge thing comes out, hey. And then the last thing that we talked about is that it can definitely be a reducer of stress, right? So are you happy now? Check in. What are you doing now? Are you really giving yourself space? Are you thinking about what you're doing now? Well, maybe you need to feel a little bit more and get out of your mind and just be. Right? Stop thinking about all the other stuff that you need to do today and just be present, right? It's not rocket science, but it's so hard, right? But you can make that commitment, right? From wherever you are, whether it's Mexico or it's Russia or it's Costa Rica, or if it's right here in sunny, beautiful Colorado, you've got that opportunity to make that choice. So it's about a flow, it's about a practice, it's about knowing that you can do it, right? Good stuff. Florida Scott says, I'd love it. Yeah, freaking fantastic. So give yourself space. There's no on or off switch in life, but there definitely is a pause. So there you go. Monotask it up, baby. Be in tune with you. And yeah, don't try to do 10 billion things today. Just do the things that you need to do right now. One more thing before I go. What I loved is that she gave us a definition of the difference between mindfulness and meditation. So the difference is that meditation is just the formal practice of mindfulness. You can be mindful all day long without formally meditating, right? Think about the food that you're eating. Think about the quality of the conversations that you're having. Think about how you're feeling. You can have mindfulness in every moment if you choose. So that's it. What do you think? You gonna be mindful? Give me some hearts if you want to be mindful today. If you're gonna think pause more frequently. You gonna pause? There's some hearts. That's right. I love it. Love it. Love it. So if you want to practice being more mindful, do it. And you can come over to my website. You can go to sarahjoes.com. I am a coach. I coach millennials to do epic shit. And I think that epic shit requires huge mindfulness. So you can go check out my site. I've got lots of cool stuff happening. Right now I've got an epic shit challenge, but I coach one-on-one, and I would love to chat with you to see if we might be a match, because I help people just blow up their ability to rock the frickin' house. So with that, y'all have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.